I can't really help that I'm a dreamer. Questioning myself won't help me neither. There's no climbing down, it just gets deeper, deeper, deeper. It's way deeper than us.
Hey guys, it's about time. Literally 2 months post-op. I know. But I had so much going on. So I'm finally able to like sit down and get this done. So here goes nothing. I'm 2 months post-op, you guys. Oh, I forgot my measuring tape, but whatever. I got my notes here. I'm gonna give y'all like the TT. Like, I'm telling on myself. I'm gonna give you guys all the information that I have, everything that I know, everything that you might want to know, and let's see how it goes. Guys, by the way, this is my first vlog, so bear with me. I'm trying to like figure it all out. I'm using like one of my phones to record this, so if the quality is kind of, that's why. So I went over there to Cali, and the very next day I had my preliminary consultation with Velasco. Went to his office and he gave me a hug like he knew me for years, you guys. Like, this man is literally like a king, okay? Like, his presence, you gotta love him. Like, he's so, you can tell he loves what he does. So yeah, we went, I got my blood work done. And they brought me in a room to do my blood work. They gave me a COVID test, they did a blood EKG, where they put like the suction on you. They did that test. And then I met with Velasco. And we went over everything. We went over my my medical history and my expectations. Some people have misconceptions of their results because they see other dolls and they think that that's what they'll look like, and you can't look like that because you don't have the same foundation as another person. So you can't watch what anybody else looks like. You just gotta kind of watch yourself and know your own body and know what to expect from yourself. So after we had that meeting, he took me behind the curtain to get dressed so that he can actually examine my body. That's the best foundation that you can have because he can literally build you from scratch. So he brought me behind the curtains and he did an examination of my body and how tight my skin was and how firm everything was, you know, looking at what he can do, how he can help. So after that, I left and I met with his assistant, his other assistant, Saraya, I think her name is. We met with her and we discussed the timings and everything and when I was going to be able to get my blood work done. So then I left. Mind you guys, I did not stay at his recovery house. I had private nurses and I stayed in Airbnb. So I was all to myself with my private nurses.
I'm feeling high. I'm feeling high.
So yeah, I went back to my recovery house and got some rest because I had to come back and meet with the anesthesiologist the next day. Met with the anesthesiologist and I was kind of anxious because I didn't get any reply or information about my blood work. So I was like, damn, like, did my blood work come back bad? Because I had got a blood test before I went that Monday and I flew out that Saturday and I didn't get my results back in time. So I was like, damn, like, what? Why didn't they call me? I was supposed to get my results by 3 p.m. the previous day. So I went to meet the anesthesiologist anyway, and he broke the news to me that my surgery was scheduled for 11 o'clock the next morning. And my head was like bust, but I wasn't nervous. So I went home, got some sleep, didn't eat after 7, and so I woke up 9 a.m. the next morning, didn't eat anything, and headed straight over to Picasso. That's where Velasco performs his procedures. Went to Picasso, filled out a whole bunch of paperwork, and then went and I gave my best friend a hug, gave my nurse a hug, and it was go time. So they brought me to the back, they changed me, and then sat me down in a room. I put on my scrub, like my surgical apron, and I was sitting in a room by myself for like an hour. I fell asleep and everything. They came and they hooked up some IVs to my arm, and let me tell y'all, they had a nurse in there who was fine, okay? She was fine. I was like, damn, who did her, Velasco? She was fine as hell. So they hooked up the IV, and then after that is when I fell asleep. So after falling asleep for like 45 minutes to an hour, Velasco comes in with his scrubs, and he had like the surgical soap on him, you know, the oil that they rub, the antibacterial oil that they rub on the body and everything. And he was like, hey, Takesha, just did a buccal fat removal and everything. And I was like, oh, you gotta go change your scrubs? He was like, yes, I'm gonna change and I'm gonna eat, and then I'm gonna do you. I was like, all right, bro, eat, make sure you get your energy. So he came, he was like, all right, let me mark you up. So he marked me up, and we were just talking about like you know, like how he does his procedures and the faith he has in himself and in God. And we were like, oh, he's like, oh, I pray every time, before every procedure, I pray over myself, over my staff, and over my patients. And I was just like, that's so good, because, you know, a lot of people have the misconception that doctors don't care. They just want your money. So to hear that was very comforting. By the way, you guys, I wasn't nervous at all. Like, I had so much faith in Velasco. I did my research for about a year before I chose him, so I had faith. I wasn't nervous at all. I was prepared. You couldn't prepare me for the pain. You can't prepare anybody for the pain. But I was comfortable. My heart wasn't racing. I was like literally content, and I knew that I was in God's hands, and I knew that Velasco was also in God. After he marked me up, they moved me into the operating room. Let me tell you guys what I got. I got a lipo, a BBL, and chin lipo. Oh, and inner thigh. My cousin right here, she already notified. So I got inner thigh also. So when I walked into the operating room, let me tell you how lit they was. They were playing salsa. I don't know if it was merengue, but like they was playing music. It was chill. Like I walked in there and she was like, step in the bucket, mom. So sat down on the table, and the anesthesiologist was like, sit down. So I sat down like this. Literally, he's like, lower. And I'm like, I can't go any lower. And so he put the needle in my back. I'm not scared of needles, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. So he put the needle in my back. I felt it, but I wasn't cringing or anything. So he was there probably for like 10 minutes. It felt like it was a long time. It might not have been 10 minutes, but it felt like it was a long time for him to give me the epidural. So then they laid me down, and they still lit. Like the anesthesiologist is telling a story, and like, let me tell you, when he's comfortable, like, I don't want to say anything negative about anybody, but when I tell you he was comfortable, I heard puta and then everybody was laughing and shit while I'm here sitting laying back on the operating table waiting to fall asleep. I didn't fall asleep for mad. I didn't even realize when I fall asleep. I couldn't even fall asleep because I'm like, yo, y'all are mad lit in here and y'all about to do surgery on me. Like, I want to stay up and talk with y'all. So eventually I fell asleep. Thank God I did not wake up, okay? I didn't wake up at all. When I did wake up, they were putting a heater under my blanket because the hospital's mad cold. They put a heater under my blanket to warm me up. And it was so satisfying. My faja was already on, and they were like asking me if I was okay, and they gave me water. And then they were like, oh, you can't leave until you pee, mommy. And I was like, all right, let me pee. You guys, couldn't pee for shit, okay? Couldn't pee for like 2 hours. My nurse is out there waiting. My best friend's out there waiting. The driver's out there waiting. Couldn't pee for shit. So I started crying. I was like, something's wrong with me. Nothing was wrong with me. After I peed, finally, I was walking myself. I didn't really feel anything. I'm guessing I'm still high off the epidural. So I was able to go home. Okay, so let me say this. Colombia is going through a lot right now. Today is what? Today is May 5th. So I do want to send my prayers out to Colombia because they're going through protests, fighting for their rights, and a lot of dolls can't come back. A lot of people are dying. It's insane. So I do send my prayers out to Colombia right now, and I'm hoping that everything resolves, because I know that, you know, people have to continue to work, and they have businesses that are being burnt down. So I'm just praying that everything goes well, because I literally love Colombia. Like, I think it's like literally the best, one of the most sanitary countries as far as regulations. And this is why Colombia is rated like so highly above other countries, is because they don't play when it comes to sanitation. They don't play when it comes to keeping their streets clean. And I mean this from Cartagena, which is like 10 hours away, all the way to Cali. Don't quote me on that, 10 hours, but from one city to the next, like super clean. Any public bathroom that I went to smelled super clean. They had janitors coming in cleaning after every, like, super clean. So I didn't have an issue with that, and that made me feel even more comfortable. The food was mad good to me, but I like Colombian food. I've been like Colombian food, and I didn't stay in a recovery house. But let me tell y'all what the fuck happened. I'm leaving from a breast consultation from another doctor, and you guys, initially, if I wasn't able to get surgery, I was just gonna do my breasts. So I left from a breast consultation from another doctor, not from Velasco. I walk outside to find my Uber. I'm looking this way, you guys. I have my phone in this hand like this, and I hear a moped pass me, and literally somebody just steals my phone, like, out my hand on a moped and just drives off. So I'm gonna fight. Like, I'm gonna run you down. So what I did, I ran him down, chipped my damn toenail, almost fell over because it was raining the night before, almost fell over a puddle trying to find this damn guy on a moped. My Uber finally came. I'm like, yo, run down that nigga right there, run him down. We lost him. Like, I was in shambles because that phone had everything. And it's crazy because Velasco had just warned us the night before, don't wear nothing flash. So yeah, my phone got stolen in Colombia. I had to go to the mall the night before my surgery and get a new phone. And I was like scrambling for time because I couldn't eat after 7 p.m. So I literally had broke down in the mall and started crying, y'all, because I was so pissed. I was hungry. I was frustrated. I didn't have a phone. So I went through it. But it could have been worse, so I'm still grateful. So fast forward to after surgery. Right after surgery, I looked lit. Like, I was so happy with my results. I looked amazing after surgery, and I was super swollen, in a faja, padded up, and I still looked fire. So Velasco's really the GOAT. I cannot stress enough how much you have to do your research before choosing a doctor, because I'm so happy. Post-op, massages were crucial. Pain, even more crucial. But you have to get your massages. Like, it's worth it. And then you kind of, I don't want to say you'll get used to it, but you know what to expect. So I hired somebody to give me some additional massages in the nighttime. Mar massages. I'll tag her in below. She came to my my Airbnb, and she was incredible. I gotta give y'all the tea on my first nurse. I had to fire my first nurse, and I'm not even gonna say fire, but she quit, and I was kind of glad that she quit, because this lady was like doing the most. Like, she had on Gucci sneakers, new set of veneers in her mouth, but she was like, oh, I need the money to pay my rent, so you need to pay me now. I'm like, that wasn't what we agreed on. I'm not gonna tag her. I will tag Nurse Jackie because she was incredible and incredibly patient, and oh, God bless her. So I'll tag Nurse Jackie so that you guys know who she is, and I'll also tag Mar Massages. Let me tell you guys where I got my incisions. Okay, so Velasco gave me 2 incisions in my back. I told him not to go through my belly button because I already had 2 scars on my stomach that he could reuse from my appendectomy. And then he gave me 1 more here. Along with the 2 in my back, he gave me 1 on top of my butt. He didn't have to go under my butt because I had ass already. So he totally respected that and didn't have a problem with that. As far as my diet, I was eating good because I had my nurse that was cooking me fresh. I dipped and dabbed in a little bit of junk food just because I saw like 2 other dolls do it, and I was like, well, if they could do it, I could do it. I won't advise because you shouldn't, but I did it. And I was hungry like all the time. I wanted food all the time. It's like they took my appetite and tripled it. So I was eating a lot. I was feeding the fat for sure. As far as compression, I had went to Contour Fajas for a custom faja and waist trainer. This is the waist trainer I have on now. It's super big. Gotta get another one. If I could grade myself in compression, you guys, I'm gonna keep it above. I'll give myself a D. Because I ain't been compressing and wearing my faja every night since I got back. I started drinking and smoking as soon as I got back to the States. You guys, please don't follow me because I was in Colombia for initially 12 days, and then I extended my stay to like another 15 days. Well, another 3 days to make it 15. So when I got back, I shouldn't have been smoking, nor should I have been drinking, but I work in a club, so the temptation is real. But I had my fajas and everything so that I was able to still compress while I was at work and still, make sure that I am keeping my body and my abdomen compressed, because when you don't wear that shit, it hurts like hot lava. So when they say that shit burn, it really does burn. So I was grateful to be able to like get 5 fajas from Fajita in Colombia, so that I can ensure that I'm compressing while I'm at work in different uniforms while I'm on the job. So it helped. All in all, with my procedure, Airbnb, private nurses, transportation, and buying groceries, I believe that I spent about roughly $8,000 total in Colombia. That doesn't include my flight ticket, which was only like $300, so maybe $8,300. So it didn't break the bank, and I felt like the work is worth it, given Colombia's top 5 in the world for plastic surgery, compared to like what they charge in here in Miami where I live, and what they're giving out. Like, it's not giving what it's supposed to give, because they're charging you $15,000 and you're only putting out 4 liters of fat, and you're not snatching like how they're supposed to snatch, and they're not shaping like how they're supposed to shape. So I love the fact that I went all the way over there and I got to visit South America for the first time. Checked it off my list. It was all worth it. I got to party, I got to do business, and I'm glad that I chose the doctor that I chose. As far as like his hospitality towards me, I felt so at home. Even now, he still checks on me and make sure that I'm good. So I'm like, I couldn't be any happier. So thank you for watching my channel, you guys.
It's way deeper than us. Deeper. deeper.